I understand what he brings to our team and what he's done since the acquisition. So, it definitely took a big blow for our team.
At some point, you noticed Luka wasn't feeling like himself. Do you then have to kind of ramp up certain things in your game, in the scoring, and how did you feel like that impacted the night overall?
I mean, well, obviously, with his illness, I mean, it impacts our team. We understand what he brings to our team and what he's done since the acquisition. So, it definitely took a big blow for our team.
You've been down 2-1 before in a series on the road. What are the most important things you guys have to do to bounce back for that game 4?
We got to control the controllables, and I don't think we did that tonight. Obviously, 19 turnovers on the road is not going to be a good ingredient for winning. Giving up 30 points, off those turnovers. They had 20+ points. And transition as well. So, we got to control the controllables, and if we do that, we give ourselves a good chance to win.
You've shown an appreciation for Ant Edwards' game when you've been asked about him over the years. Tonight, you guys were able to, I guess, enjoy like a joyful, competitive nature between the two of you, and then he just was able to kind of just control the action at the end. How tough is he at this stage of his career to contend with in a playoff situation?
Well, I mean, obviously, you're only as great as your teammates, allow you to be as well. And obviously, you guys know how much praise I have for Ant and his development over the years. And, we had a hell of a summer, and I love everything about Ant. But in the course of a playoff series and things of that nature, when you have your guys step up for you, it allows you to be able to crack the seams of defenses throughout the course of the game. And I thought, the game ball went to Jaden McDaniels. He had 30, and he was aggressive from the start to the finish. I mean, I can't remember the last time he took over 20 shots. So that just lets you know what his mindset was. And Ant was just Ant. So.
LeBron, you guys tied the game at 103 with 4:37 left. They closed the game on a 13-1 run. I know you referenced some of the miscues, but was there anything that stood out over the final 4.5 minutes that they were able to do to create that separation?
I can remember some plays, but not all of them. But I'll have to take a look at the film. Obviously, I think it was a tie game. He said 103. Ant hit the 3, right? Top of the key. We came back down. I believe missed a shot. And then Ant drove baseline and found Nas for another 3. I guess I can't remember, huh? No, they just made plays, man. We had opportunities. I think Rui had some good looks. AR had a good look as well. We just couldn't make them go.
LeBron, I think it was in mid-January, after a loss to the Clippers, you and JJ talked about how the margins at that point in time were really tight. You guys have been able to create margins since the Luka trade. Did tonight feel like a night with Luka not at full strength, with the turnovers sort of mounting? Do you feel like the margins you guys just eventually ran out of room?
Well, yeah, first of all, in the postseason, there is no room for error. In the regular season, you're able to make up for certain things throughout the course of a regular season, where you can have a little bit of room for error. But when our team was constructed at one point, then in the regular season we didn't have much room for that as well. But in the postseason, obviously you're not going to play a perfect game. But the more that you make mistakes on top of mistakes on top of mistakes, things that can be controlled, then it's not going to give you an opportunity to be in the best possible chance to win. They had 13 more, goals at the rim than we did, and pretty much that could be the game right there. You have 13 more. We have 78 attempts. They had 91, and it's just with turnovers, live ball turnovers.
What do you guys need to do to get the minutes better when Jackson's on the court? What needs to happen when you guys are playing bigger to be more effective in those stretches?
We all just got to be better. Obviously Jackson's not getting. Tonight he played 8 minutes. It's not. I say it's even enough to kind of dissect it, see what we can get out of it, obviously. But we just all need to be better. We got to rebound better. We got to screen better. We got to play with more force. When we've been really, really good, Jax has played extremely well for us, and we still believe in him, and hope we can continue that going into the rest of the series.
Last two.
Vando and Jordan both played more minutes tonight than they did in game 2. For Jordan, played more tonight than he did in the previous 2 games. How valuable? I mean, I know Vando sort of struggled with fouls, but how valuable were their minutes, and what can they do? What can carry over to game 4? They
just bring toughness, man. They bring toughness. They can guard multiple positions. Vando rebounds with the best of them. Goody can guard multiple positions. It brings us toughness. And obviously, versus Minnesota, they got a bunch of, bigger wings. They're very, got a lot of length out there, a lot of stronger guys. So, it helps to just have that activity, and that demeanor when those guys get in the game.